Well, hey y'all, I'm back. Welcome to my channel. I am the teacher under the stairs, and literally, my office is under the stairs. I'm a certified teacher, taught high school for many, many years. Due to the pandemic, I am starting things off on my own, decided to be my own boss and kind of do what I like to do. So here I am. Um, I forgot to say this yesterday because yesterday was my first video, but if you would like my video, that would be awesome. Or don't like it, whichever. And if you do like it, subscribe. And if you want to know when I upload more videos, hit the notifications bell. I do have some plans for some other type series, but right now this one is going to be primarily to go over fun reads and read alouds, literature works. I can help kids with junior high, even littler kids, really. I mean, I taught first and second grade was my first foray out into teaching. So I've taught first and second grade all the way through seniors. So I can tutor, and if you have a work like a literature that you want me to read, and we can go over and have discussion at the end of each chapter, I can do that either on my platform, or if you want to book a private tutor session with me, you can do that too. And my email will be in the description down below. So for the fun read, until I start getting other suggestions on what y'all might need, is because, like I said, I'm a giant shark nerd, also Star Wars nerd. Pretty much anything superhero nerdy. Yep, that's me. But anyway, I'm on chapter 2 of The Trench by Steve Alten. And I'm going to read this for you today. And we're just going to jump right into it because it left at a very dramatic moment yesterday. So if you missed that, go back and check it out. I get my glasses on. Like I said, getting old is not for the faint of heart. And here we go. Chapter 2, A Waking Nightmare. Flickering sunlight penetrated the gray-green depths. Jonas Taylor plunged nose cone first into the void, struggling to draw breaths, his chest constricted, his throat burning. He opened his eyes wide, pressing his hands against the Lexan pod. The ocean turned black. He continued descending, spiraling down into the gorge, all the while searching the darkness below. A swirling vortex of soot appeared in the sub's headlights. An object rose out of the muddled current, another Lexan pod. His light revealed a woman's body lying inside. Her face was obscured in the shadows, but Jonas could make her out, her long black hair flowing like silk. For a brief moment he caught a glimpse of her dark almond eyes, vacant eyes staring through him. Terry. He accelerated toward her, the sub barely moving, struggling against the strong current. He screamed her name again, a feeling of dread washing over him. So I guess that should have been Terry instead of Terry, but okay. From the swirling current of debris behind her, a luminescent glow appeared. The unearthly light turned Terry's features to a gray silhouette. Jonas stopped breathing. An angel's monstrous head appeared. The demonic grin cracked open, a cavernous mouth revealing a stretch of pink gums and rows of serrated triangular teeth. Jonas tried to scream but had no mouth. Her eyes flashed open in recognition and fear. "Jonas," she whispered as the beast took the entire pod into its mouth. "Jonas!" "No!" Jonas shot upright in bed, his chest heaving, his hands shaking uncontrollably. "Honey, it's okay. Terry sat up, stroking his hair, her own heart racing following her husband's sudden screams. Morning sunlight streamed through the wooden shutters, illuminating the familiar bedroom as Jonas came out of his night terror. He turned and he kissed Terry's hand. "Are you okay?" she asked. He nodded, struggling to find his voice. "Was it the same dream? The one where you're back in the trench?" "Yes." Jonas lay back in bed, allowing his wife to use his chest as a pillow. He stroked her long, silky black hair and then let his hand drift down below the small of her back to her smooth, bare behind. "Isn't it getting better?" she asked. "You should see Dr. Wallace before you give me a heart attack." "Post-traumatic stress disorder. I already know what he'll tell me. He'll tell me to quit the institute." "Maybe you should. 4 years studying that monster is enough to give anyone nightmares, especially after all you've been through." The ring of the phone made them both jump. They smiled at each other. "Guess we're both a little on edge," Jonas said. She rolled over, snuggled against him. "Don't answer it." Jonas pulled her close, nuzzling her neck as he ran his hands across her body. The phone continued ringing. "God damn it." Jonas grabbed the receiver. "Yes? Doc, it's Manny. Sorry to bother you, but I think you ought to get back to the lagoon." The tone of his assistant's voice caused Jonas to sit up. "What's the problem?" "It's Angel. Something's wrong with her. You'd better get down here." Jonas felt his heart pounding in his throat. "Give me 20 minutes. He hung up, and then he slipped out of bed to get dressed. "Jonas, what is it?" He turned to his wife. "Manny says something's wrong with the female. I have to go." "Hun, take it easy. Maybe you should eat something. You look as pale as a ghost." To her surprise, he stopped getting dressed, sat down on the edge of the bed to hug her. "I love you," he whispered. "I love you too, Jonas. Tell me what's wrong. I can feel your arms trembling." "I don't know. I think I just have bad déjà vu. My absolute worst nightmare is about to become real." It had been 11 years since Jonas Taylor had first encountered the megalodon, the fiercest predator to ever have lived. It had been nearly 7 miles down in the Mariana Trench, the deepest and most unexplored location on the planet. Piloting the Navy's 3-man submersible, the Sea Cliff, on the last of the top-secret dives, the exhausted Argonaut had been staring into the pitch-black waters below when the unearthly white glow had appeared. Mesmerized by what he first took to be an aberration, he quickly found his thoughts turning to fear as the 60-foot great white shark's luminescent torpedo-shaped head began rising at them from the depths. The demonic smiled, opening to reveal 7-inch teeth. A primordial panic had seized him, changing his life forever. Disregarding protocol, he had jettisoned the vessel's ballast and raced the sub back to the surface, the rapid rise causing a malfunction in the pressurization system. Both scientists aboard the sub had died, and Jonas's career as an Argonaut was over, or so he had thought. Over the next 7 years, Jonas became obsessed with proving to the world that the creature really existed. Returning to school, he earned advanced degrees in paleobiology, while his first wife supported them. Research over the mysterious disappearance of the megalodon species soon led to a controversial theory and several publications. Jonas surmised that many of the prehistoric great white sharks had migrated to the warmer abyssal waters of the Mariana Trench in order to avoid the cold surface temperatures brought by the last ice age. Despite the scientific basis for his conclusions, his research was dismissed by colleagues as utter fantasy. His papers banned from many institutions. 4 years later, the opportunity to return to the Mariana Trench was offered by Masao Tanaka, an old friend and mentor. The founder of the Tanaka Oceanographic Institute had not been interested in megalodons or Jonas's theories about the creature's possible existence. Masao was building an artificial lagoon off the Monterey coast, a man-made habitat in which to study whales.